Hey everybody, this is Allison Cornelius with the Greater Birmingham Humane Society. I'm coming to you tonight to just take a few minutes of your time because I know some of you are concerned about the blog that came out last week and this week that alleged some pretty serious things about me and the organization, and I'm going to address them for you. I do want you to know, though, this has not just been going on for 2 weeks. It's been going on since July 7th or 8th, and this campaign against me and against some of our volunteers and our staff has been relentless. And we've tried to go high when they go low, but now it's time to say something. I want to be real clear about the following things. I have never given myself a $30,000 raise, and I've never given executives a $30,000 raise. There's a lot of people at GBHS that deserve raises, but we have never, and they're mostly animal care and clinic and adoptions, and the people, God bless, the animal control officers. We pay them well, we have great benefits, but I'd love to pay them more. But I never, ever did anything of the sort. It's not sort of untrue. It's not, oh, you misunderstood me, or maybe they took something out of context. It never happened, ever. I've never converted GBHS assets to my personal use. GBHS did not move my son into University of Alabama. I did not use GBHS assets for personal gain. My family has not. Blackfish Consulting is a consulting firm I founded. I had contracts that I had to see through when I took this job. The board knew it and approved it. I finished those contracts. Blackfish Incorporated isn't even any longer. It's a sole proprietorship. I still teach classes at universities, and I still speak around the country, do keynote speeches, and speak on nonprofit governance, and I do speeches to raise money for child sexual abuse and domestic violence, which are important to me. But we do not take money from those events. We donate most of them, and if we do get paid, we use that money for GBHS. We either buy sponsorships or give money to events. Jeff and I do, and we've been happy to do that, and we'll keep doing it. We would never enrich ourselves off of GBHS. There's an allegation that I videoed some kittens to raise some funds, and that after I shot the video, I ordered them to be euthanized. I want to be really clear about something. When I came here, I told the board I was not going to go around and do this, they call them pull lists, where you write down all the animals that are going to be euthanized for that day. I'm not qualified to do that. We have a veterinarian. We have an amazing clinic staff. We have an amazing behaviorist. We have amazing medical people who know what they're doing when they see animals and when they're assessing them, and that's who makes those decisions, not me. That's not me blaming them for it. I'm just simply telling you this never happened. I have never ordered anyone at the Greater Birmingham Humane Society to euthanize an animal. And as a matter of fact, we have employees there right now that were in that clinic when we filmed that video, and our PR person. And when we finished videoing, I actually said to the LVT there, is there any way we can save these kittens? The total opposite of what was written in this blog. I've never written on a whiteboard for people to come tell me about an animal, and the more matted, the better. I have, along with Ramona Graffio, who was in development with us, and Mal, and people that are trying to raise money, we have asked the employees to please let us know when an animal comes in that has complex medical needs, because we can't keep spending the kind of money we're spending because we're getting so many complex medical needs and we're trying to save so many of them that we run out of cash. So we were trying to appeal to the public, and it works. The public does step up and help us, and I'm grateful for that. And that helps us save the animals that usually a shelter wouldn't have the resources to do. But we're not doing that to exploit the animal. We're doing it to save the animal. We wouldn't be in this business and working and doing all the things we do at that shelter to euthanize animals. Pocahontas, that I was accused of raising money off this dog and then transferring her to this damp, dark, woodlawn animal control facility and denying her vet care. That didn't happen. Pocahontas was immediately transferred to the shelter hospital under Dr. Jerry Latham, where he worked for 8 days along with our vet team trying to save that dog. We couldn't save it. We tried. We spent a lot of money trying, and we lose some. And if Donors tell me they want me to call them all back when they've given money. We get lots of donors every day that call us and give money for a particular animal. If we need to start calling every single donor back and tell them the outcome of every single animal, then we'll strive to do that. We lose some, but we win most. We win the lives of most of them. I have never misappropriated expense reports or categorized expenses unethically. I don't even enter the expenses at GBHS. We have a checks and balance system. We have a finance committee. We have an auditor. We have an audit committee. We have a CFO and an accounting assistant so that you have a separation of duties. I don't enter the expenses into QuickBooks. I never have. I've never even been in QuickBooks at GBHS. And finally, the census reports. When you hear me on television or on the radio and I'm giving you a cumulative live release rate of 80%, that's because if you do the math, on the January, the February, and the March Asilomar reports, the cumulative live release rate was 80%. I go with whatever the question the person asks me, or if I say, well, it's unnecessary youth rate, I will give the unnecessary youth rate. Because frankly, right now, that's the only youth rate that we in the shelter can impact at this time. Why? Because Birmingham won't let us do trap and return. We've managed to get the city of Vestavia Hills to pass an ordinance to allow trap and release, trap and return. But most of the cities in Jefferson County won't let us release feral cats. So when a feral cat comes into our facility, we actually snuck when I first got the contract, if that's a word, and we tried to release them, and we got caught. And a city council member called me and said if we got caught doing it again, they would rip the contract, the animal control contract, away from us. And that city council let me know in no uncertain terms that they did not support TNR. And that I was going to have a heck of a hard time ever convincing them to support it. So when you see our census reports and our live release numbers fluctuate, it's based on intake. It's based on what has come in. Is it a feral cat? Is it fighting dogs? We may get 70 fighting dogs in one drug bust. None of those dogs are going to pass an assessment to be adopted. And it's heartbreaking. Those factors can impact that census report every single month. But the biggest thing that impacts all of it, and this movement of identifying shelters as killers and all that taxonomy that doesn't help anything, let me tell you what affects it. Backward policies, not having licensing requirements, not having accessible spay-neuter for people that's close by that they can afford it, policies that try to shut down spay-neuter clinics, puppy mills unfettered, leash laws that are not enforced. Those are the things that are causing the shelter intake to be 2,200, 2,000, 1,900. And on any given day, if we get too many, there's simply nowhere to put them. And we have to make the difficult choices. We transport 2-3 transports a week sometimes. But we're not going to transport, rescue, and adopt our way out of 2,000 animals a month. So what I would say to y'all is this in closing. I was warned when I came here by the 3 previous directors that this kind of thing went on. And they all suffered under this kind of stuff, of this kind of shaming and attacks and lies. But I thought if we could elevate the conversation in the profession and change it. And I knew the Alabama legislature didn't take the movement seriously because of this kind of behavior. It's got to stop. If you have a debate, you want to come in and debate a shelter about and say, look, you got to be transparent, your numbers have got to be right, that's fine. But once you cross the line and you start accusing people of crimes and felonies and slander and libel, you lose your credibility. And I intend, and this board intends, to utilize the judicial system of this state to fully go after the individuals, I'm sorry, that did this. They've damaged my reputation. They've damaged GBHS. And we'll have to let the chips fall where they may. But I did not do these things. My people, the people that work with me and around me, my friends that work with me at GBHS, we're a family. They've not done any of the things they've been accused of. Mary Ann LeVay would never say what this blog post said she said about moral compass being wound too tight. If anybody's moral compass is wound tight, it's hers. We just didn't do it. And we're not gonna be bullied like this, and that is exactly what it is. But I do absolutely encourage you If you don't understand the census report, or if you want to come over and meet with us and let us show you how it is counted and how it works, we are happy to do that. We don't have a digitized youth log, so I can't give you that. I keep hearing that from this one lady that she wants it. There is no such of a thing. But we're more than happy to have you come into your shelter and look at how these systems work and make recommendations for improvement. We are working on a particular strategy, and we're working it hard. But we're not going to get there behaving like this and treating each other like this. And so I appreciate, again, all of the support, the emails, the texts, the letters. I appreciate it. And I can't answer the motives of the individuals. I think I have a pretty good idea, and the board does, but I can't speak for that. But I do know this, it's not true, and it didn't happen. I thank you. I thank you so much for all y'all's support. And if there's ever anything that we can do for you, any of us can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask us. But do know that there is not a single employee of GBHS or volunteer or foster parent or anybody that wants an animal that's healthy and adoptable to be euthanized. And so if you can help us get that resolved, we welcome it. But we're going to do it civilly, and we're going to do it productively. Have a good evening. Thank you so much for your time.